7 rules of life. Number 1, make peace with your past so it won't screw up with the present. Number 2, what others think of you is none of your business. Number 3, time heals almost everything. Give it time. Number 4, don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is all about. Number 5, stop thinking too much. It's alright not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect them. And boy, have I experienced that. Number 6, no one is in charge of your happiness except you. And number 7, smile. You don't own all the problems in the world. And unknown.
Very good of the 7 rules of life.
Yep. 7 rules of life. Because I look at average incomers, celebrities, and all them, and I just see there's a lot of things that's going on with them that that just really just takes their thinking to a whole nother level, take their whole rule of life to a whole nother level. So I just thought that was interesting to
Yeah.
to discuss.
Something to share.
Yeah, something to share. I thought it'd be good. I thought it would be good.
Of course.
All right, this is another edition of Double Tech Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers. I'm Daryl, of course. On the other side of me, my brother, Darren Watts.
Yep.
Yep. How you feeling so far today?
Well.
Well.
Yes, sir.
Well. All right. Okay. This is our what?
19th
19th
episode.
episode. Thank you for tuning in with us. Right now, we're going to go ahead and discuss the latest headlines, any breaking news, updates, development stories from the sports world. Of course, we're going to start this baby off with our very own, our biggest take of NBA. Mr. Watts.
I got the blog from ESPN.com based on the free agencies. It's a pretty long list of things that has happened over the last couple of days. Not even the last couple of days, the last few days. Dated back to July 2nd. So just to give everybody a refresher course for the last time we did the show, which was
Saturday the 2nd.
Yeah, and I'm just going to refresh your course all the way up until that time. And then from that time on, we'll discuss the new ones that has developed after we had recorded the show. Most of these, again, we had talked about. This was on July 2nd, of course. All of this that I'm about to go ahead and read to you and share with you is all July 2nd. Yes, all of it. Wow, I'm amazed at that. Yeah, all of these are July 2nd. Right up until, I don't know, page 4. Yep, page 5, I think it is. Go ahead and just catch you up on the latest. July 2nd, Joe Johnson signing on to the Utah Jazz 2 years, $22 million deal. Yeah, $22 million deal. This was reported by Turner Sports first, but I found out through the Bleacher Report first.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened July 2nd. Also, Lil Dang agreed to a 4-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers that was worth $72 million. Man, is he really worth that much? Golly.
I don't think he's worth that much.
$72 million?
For 4 years.
I don't know if he's really, worth that much.
No, it's got to be catch
And
that.
he was a free agent also. And then also, the San Antonio Spurs wanted to keep their sorry about that. They wanted to keep their presentation short for the visit of free agent Kevin Durant. It was less than 2 hours, so he met with San Antonio on this day also. And also on the 2nd, John Lure, who played for 4 teams for 5 seasons, landed a 4-year, worth $42 million deal with the Pistons after posting his best season to date in Phoenix. And that came from sources of Mark Stein of ESPN. And also, the Knicks offered Courtney Lee $10 million per year for 4 years, and that came from sources from N. Begley from ESPN also. In the Knicks organization, besides seeing Courtney Lee signed, they wanted to have competition from other teams that could offer him a higher contract. So that's where Al Horford came into the picture on Friday, and that came from Chris Forsberg from ESPN. The Vertical reported that Saturday that the Celtics and the Wizards has merged from front runners for Horford. They was in talks of getting Al Horford. And then Bismack Biyombo, thank you, has agreed to a 4-year deal with Orlando that is expected to land $70 million in range, and that came from sources from ESPN's Mark Stein. Associated Press have first reported this agreement from the former Raptors big man. Aaron Aflalo has agreed to a 2-year, $25 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. Sources come from ESPN.com and Begley again. The Vertical reported that this agreement was the 9-year guard who played for the Knicks last season. And played for several teams also. And then the Celtics called in the area's most famous athlete to help with their sales pitch to get Kevin Durant. Snapshot photo of New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady was posted on the Reddit NBA page. Snapshot showed Brady walking alongside with Celtics boss Danny Ainge. And then Ryan Anderson was heading to Houston for a 4-year worth $80 million deal. And this came from ESPN Mark Stein.
They must have money to waste.
Yeah, really. The Rockets met with the former Pelican on Saturday afternoon and finalized the deal after the meeting nearly lasted for 2 hours. And then, also on July 2nd, see where am I at? Okay. Mark Stein said that sources indicated that Sacramento and Indiana had recent trades discussion involving the Kings for Rudy Gay. Now, this one right here wasn't really out there like that. I think it was on a couple, popular news sites. But sources also maintain that no matter what happens with Indiana, Gay is right there with Greg Monroe in terms of proving players available via trade. As of this point, we still ain't heard anything, but hopefully when we get through this blog, hopefully we'll find something more out. And then that's where Al Horford comes back in again. He had officially signed a 4-year deal worth $113 million with the Boston Celtics. And then Courtney Lee went on and signed a $48 million deal with the Knicks.
He's trying to get busy, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get busy.
Dallas Mavericks also tried to make an offer to the Golden State Warriors for Harrison Barnes. Mark Stein reported that Dallas understands that Barnes is most likely available if the Warriors land Kevin Durant, but the Mavs want to try anyway. They're going to try to see if they can get something out of the Kevin Durant race. I'm sorry, not the Kevin Durant race. So then, also on July 2nd, Austin Rivers has agreed to a 3-year deal with the Clippers. For the Clippers to sign Kevin Durant, the Clippers needed to create more cap space, suggesting that LA is bowing out of the Durant race, so they wasn't going to bother to even try to get Kevin Durant because this cap space was so low. Former Indiana Pacers Jan Mahimi joined the Washington Wizards for 4 years, $64 million deal. Eric Gordon has also reached an agreement with the Houston Rockets for 4 years, $53 million deal. This came from ESPN's Chris Bosard. There's a lot of these came mostly, of course, from ESPN. And then the Clippers also made free agent Jamal Crawford running options, so they never really signed him. Huh?
He's still out there balling.
Yeah. So then on July 2nd, that's when Kevin Durant said he was going to make his free agency decision within the next 24 to 36 hours. And that came from ESPN's Chris Broussard. Broussard, I believe it is. Broussard. Kevin Durant met with the Thunder, the Warriors, the Clippers, the Heat, the Spurs, and the Celtics in advance to his decision. And then also on this date, the Warriors have reached out to three-time six-man winner Jamal Crawford, but things were on hold until Kevin Durant has signed, according to ESPN Ramon Shelburne. The Nets also contacted Crawford, told sources to ESPN Mike Mazzio that the free agency was disappointed with the Clippers' offer. This was all on July 2nd. All of this stuff, that was just a catch up for July 2nd for after we had stopped doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, here's was everything that happened after the show. Manu Ginobili announced that he was going to return for his NBA 15th season. And that was on his website. He told him he was going to come back for an NBA season number 15. He's expected to re-sign with San Antonio. Worth, I believe, he had signed previously a 2-year contract last summer, but he declined his player option for worth $2.9 million, so he's going to most likely stay with San Antonio. Brooklyn Nets gave a 4-year deal, $50 million offer sheet to guard Tyler Johnson. So Miami had 3 days to match that. The Utah Jazz expected to trade Sunday afternoon. They would send Trey Burks to the Wizards for a 2021 second round draft pick. Godly. And that came from NBA insider Kevin Pelton.
Wow.
And then, also on July 3rd, they told sources were told from ESPN.com that Pau Gasol will receive significant interest in recent days from the Portland Trail Blazers, Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Toronto Raptors, in addition to the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs would most likely be the team to be the contender for Gasol if they do not win the Kevin Durant
ordeal.
Sweepstakes. ESPN's Mark Stein said that Kevin Durant's final meeting with the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Hamptons has ended. This is the second meeting with the Thunder. Blah, blah, blah. His decision again will be made on Monday. Free agent shooting guard Jamal Crawford officially agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Los Angeles Clippers. ESPN confirmed that, and USA Today was the first to put that out there. Rajon Rondo agreed to a 2-year, $28 million deal with the Bulls. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be
I didn't think that they were going to pick him up. That was the replacement for Derrick Rose.
Yep.
And then Alan Crabb had free agent meeting set up on Tuesday. The Portland Trail Blazers is a match to pick up Alan Crabb, which he is a restricted free agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt Barnes agreed to join the Sacramento Kings. He's a 36-year-old forward in his second stint with Sacramento. The money situation was not put out there at that time. And then also on July 3rd, Dwayne Wade had a meeting with the Milwaukee Bucks after he had returned from his European vacation. So the Bucks and the Knicks and the Bulls don't have good salary cap space. Want Wade, but we'll have to try to find a solution for that. And then Deron Williams agreed to the Dallas Mavericks for 1 year, $10 million. That came from ESPN Mark Stein.
Yeah, that's a perfect price for him.
Yeah.
He's not worth that much.
Yep, that was all on July 3rd. And then on Independence Day, July 4th, San Antonio Spurs, Toronto Raptors are the front runners for Pau Gasol. That came from ESPN Chris Broussard. And then Kevin Durant at 11:39 in the morning said that he was heading to Golden State Warriors. 2 years, $54.3 million contract. That came from ESPN.
Boy,
Mark
you
Stein.
don't know the positive and the negative aspect of that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of negative and
Man,
positives
a
on
bunch
that.
of negative. The one that really gets my just is the negative people of this.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I look at one of them being
Stephen A. Smith.
What? Okay, so you gonna start talking about Skip Bayless and what he did?
Somebody got to take his spot.
I know somebody got to take his spot, but you've been with him for so long.
You know what I'm saying? Decisions are decisions. Business is business. You know, so there's a lot of things I didn't approve of, but dang, I ain't going to sit up here and say it on the air. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and just say it just to be saying it either. I mean, come on, dude. Business is business. It's not your show.
It ain't your
It's
show.
not your approval either. We don't need your approval for this crap. We don't need it. Keep your mouth shut.
I'm sorry, we don't need your opinion either.
We don't need your opinion.
Ugh.
How about that was the weakest move from a star.
Your eyes
Stop
look
it.
weak. Out of here with that mess.
You know what I'm saying? I can say right now from the different moves that he done made, that was the weakest move from a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Just stop it,
Yeah,
man.
just stop. Just stop. I know you're making money off of doing stupid stuff
like that.
and evidently it's working.
Yeah, it's working out.
It's working.
It's working out.
So after Kevin Durant announced that he was going to the Golden State Warriors, Pau Gasol finalized a 2-year deal with the San Antonio Spurs in excess of $30 million. And that came from ESPN Mark Stein. They are now officially a contender again.
I'm going to tell you, I'm surprised he didn't get no negative feedback from that.
Why would he get feedback?
Because they're so worried about Kevin Durant. Why would y'all sit up here and make these little negative feedbacks about Pau Gasol?
Well, I mean, he didn't stay with one team anyway, and he already won.
It could be off of any stupid thing that they feel that's not right.
No, what I want to know that I have not seen yet is Derrick Rose. That's what I want to see.
I ain't seen nothing.
I ain't either. So, continuing on, the Dallas Mavericks have reached a verbal agreement for a 4-year, $94 million maximal deal with Harrison Barnes. The Mavs and the Warriors also had agreed to trade that will send Andrew Bogut to Dallas, according to lead sources. The Miami Heat had made 2-year, $40 million offer to Dwayne Wade. That came from ESPN's Michael Wallace. That's when Dwayne Wade continued to draw interest from the Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks. That also came from ESPN. And then Brandon Jennings signed with the New York Knicks for approximately $5 million.
They might be a contender too.
They might be.
I mean, they're picking up some pretty good ball players, but they're not, stars like, Derrick Rose.
Right.
But they can get somewhere this year.
Yep. And he will also be backing up Derrick Rose. Because Derrick Rose is going to be starting.
And the one thing that got me, I thought they was going to get rid of Carmelo Anthony and rebuild from there. They look like they're rebuilding around
him. I think Phil Jackson kind of had a second thought.
Yeah, probably did.
It was weird because it seemed like that he didn't even want Carmelo Anthony. It was just weird to me.
And he might still have a contract to finish out, and he might be too expensive to get rid of him.
That's true. That's true. But then when his contract is up, then it might be a whole different ballgame.
It might be another ballgame.
Because Carmelo Anthony's not wanting to go nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then Luke Richard Alamute, I believe that's his name is, came to agreement with the Los Angeles Clippers for 2 years, $4.5 million at the biannual exception. That came from ESPN.com. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers did not match the 4-year offer sheet restricted free agent to sign Matthew Dellavedova. So that's where he agreed to the Milwaukee Bucks that was worth $38.4 million. They had agreed for a sign and trade talks on him anyway.
Oh, yeah. They was getting rid of him soon.
They was going to get rid of him
soon, man.
Yeah. So, the Dallas Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki hammered out the framework for a new contract that set Nowitzki up to earn $40 million over the next 2 seasons and play up until he is 40. That came from ESPN Mark Stein.
Boy, he might just retire as a Maverick.
Of course. Philadelphia 76er guard Gerald Henderson agreed to a 2-year, $18 million deal. That came from the Vertical Report. He averages 28 points a game. He's 28 years old. And he averages 8.7 points and 2.9 points with Portland last season. He ain't playing that much. I knew that when I first read. I said, this ain't right. I did not see no 0.1, 0.2 behind that. Yeah. And then Dwayne Wade representatives had told team that the All-Star shooting guard is seeking a deal worth around $50 million over 2 years, which would leave the salary cap strap for the Miami Heat short. That came from ESPN.com. Sources of ESPN.com. The Denver Nuggets and the Bulls, in addition to the Heat, continues to be in talks with Wade, but the Denver Nuggets and the Chicago Bulls have more salary cap space than the Miami Heat. Oops. Which leads up to a whole bunch of stuff later on in the later on in days.
Oh yeah.
Or hours. Mm-hmm. Then that's when the Denver Nuggets offered Dwayne Wade $50 million, north of a $50 million deal, and that came from ESPN Mark Stein. Miami Heat was more than $10 million short of Denver's offer for that last report, but most league observers said they expect Wade to return to Miami.
Ooh.
So that's when yesterday came about. Yesterday, Ray Allen, one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, is considering making a comeback. He is reaching out to the Golden State Warriors and the Cavaliers about possibly joining Allen to one of the two conference championship teams.
Mm-hmm. Right now, he need to be going to OKC.
Yeah, to kind of replace Kevin Durant and, get that Seattle Supersonic spunk back into it. And Nene has agreed to the Houston Rockets on the terms to a 1-year, $2.9 million deal. No, I didn't see this.
Yeah.
That was reported at 2:41 yesterday. I didn't know that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. That was a mistake. Washington gave up a good man.
Oh, good ball player. Battling injuries.
Oh, well,
since
still.
2011.
Well, still, he's still a good ball player.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why they got rid of him, because he's been battling injuries. And
yeah.
He hasn't been appearing.
And as soon as that one trainer come in there and heal him pretty darn well, it's over.
Somebody from the Wizards training staff gonna be fired.
That's it. That is it, man. 634. Langston Galloway agreed to terms of the New Orleans Pelicans. This came from ESPN Mark Stein and N. Begley. Contract details was not immediately made. They had to they had to sign Brandon Jennings. Well, here's what it said. The New York Knicks recently made Galloway an unrestricted free agent when they signed a $2.7 million qualifying offer, and they had extended to the guard clearing space to sign Brandon Jennings. That's what that was.
Yeah.
So, that being said, at 9:28, Dwayne Wade decided to return to his hometown of Chicago. And this came from multiple sources from ESPN reporters, and will leave the Miami Heat. He is reported to a 2-year, $40 million offer. To make this deal work, the Bulls will have to move Jose Calderon, and sources say that Chicago has found a trade partner for that deal in the Los Angeles Lakers trade block.
Yep.
So, Mike Dunleavy, reported to have been traded to Cleveland, came from Brian Windhurst as a part of a fallout from Wednesday's report that Dwayne Wade signed to the Chicago Bulls. The Cavs will use their trade expectations are most likely to send a second-round pick or the rights to a player overseas. And that came
much drama.
Yeah, and that came from sources unknown. So, 11:35. We had talked about this maybe about a week or so back that Richard Jefferson said that he was going to retire. Mm-hmm. This came out yesterday at 11:35 p.m. Richard Jefferson agreed to re-sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers on a 2-year deal. He announced that on Snapchat. Jefferson, who turns 36 June 21st, finished his 15th season by making his third career appearances in the NBA Finals. He averaged 17.9 minutes and 5.5 points in his first season with Cleveland, but started Game 3 of the championship series at 9 points, 8 rebounds in place of injured Kevin Love. And then as of today, As of today, there are actually no ordeals today except for at 12:08 in the morning, Leandro Barbosa is leaving the Golden State Warriors to return to the Phoenix Suns for a 2-year, $8 million deal with a team option the second year. Leandro Barbosa plays for 5 different NBA franchises,
including his rerun with the Phoenix Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing any more. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more updates. So that would be the update of the latest news and free agency reports and trades and all that good stuff.
In the meantime, as you speak about, as we talked about the NBA, I want to shift my attention to the NFL. There's something here that really has caught my attention. A few weeks back, I know everybody heard about it. A few weeks back, dare you to, actor Ben Affleck decides that he's going to go on a Deflategate rant.
Oh, sure.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, he went on a Deflategate rant. Now, what was being said, I'm not 100% sure, and I don't think I want to read it because at this point of what I'm feeling right now, I wouldn't mind dropping a few F-bombs myself. So, I'm just going to rather not know what the man said. But for the record's sake, during that interview, he dropped the F-bomb 18 times and then bashed Roger Goodell, which is the commissioner of the NFL, about that tirade. And it went on for 5 minutes. Let me just say this. Rob Gronkowski pretty much agrees with Ben Affleck and what he said. So it pretty much says, you took the words right out of my mouth. That just saved me money for being fined. So here's my thing. I understand that there are Boston fans and, New England fans and stuff like that. Let's just take the time and admit that you guys do not know right from wrong. Let's just admit that right now. Because to me, y'all just seem like y'all just complete 100% idiots. I say that because if y'all never took the time to sit down and read the report, Darren, you read the report, I read the report.
And I'm going to reread it again.
And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to reread it again. Blankly obvious. Destroy the evidence. Why would you destroy evidence if you think that this tirade is stupid? Why would you do that? What are you hiding? What are you really hiding if y'all think that this tirade was ridiculous? Ben Affleck, you wasn't there when it happened. You haven't been there when it happened. You just a fan, so you gotta support it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's really focus on the issue here. They are not ready to admit
that they're wrong.
They're not ready for that.
They never have.
And they never were ready for it. They wasn't ready when they did Spygate. They wasn't ready then either. And still ain't. They're not going to admit their wrongdoings. I have seen so much NFL teams, NFL players admit their wrongdoings. And they have come clean about it.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, Boston, Massachusetts, get it together. Let's just take the time to come clean about it. Let's come clean about it. Tom Brady, you know you did wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You destroyed evidence. You say you have nothing to hide.
You just destroyed evidence.
You destroyed evidence. Admit that you're wrong. Yeah, I admit it. I did not like the footballs, so I did break the rules. Oh, you bent them? No, you broke it. Let's admit that. You knew the limit for the footballs. You decided to go under it. You broke the rules.
You knew the weather. You knew all that.
You knew all that. Sports science even came out with evidence on that. When are y'all going to admit that y'all was wrong for that? When are you going to admit it?
I need to find that episode.
I watched it.
I need to find that episode.
Here's what they did. Sports science have put a football, I think, in a cold room, and they put another football in the freezer.
Dang.
Yes, that's what they did. And they was trying to prove that the football sitting in cold weather will go flat, but not like how they did theirs. And it did go flat. It didn't go. They lost probably about a half to probably about 1 psi. Them? Nah. They was literally tampering with those footballs. They was tampering with them.
So it could sit in a cold room all day. It could sit in a freezer all day. But in order for a football to go completely
It would take
flat,
days for it to happen. It don't take hours. It takes days for it to go completely flat. It would go completely flat in a certain amount of days.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of it. That was the whole point in it. And when Sports Science released that information, that told you right there they was tampering with those footballs.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady needs to get suspended. He needs to be disciplined from that. But if y'all going to sit up here and Ben Affleck going on these F-bomb rants about the daggone Spygate, Deflategate ordeal, if you're going to go on an F-bomb rant about that, look, like I said, I understand that y'all are being well supported for as a fan base of Massachusetts and Boston and New England and all them. I understand that. But y'all need to know what's right is wrong. And y'all idiots fail to realize that. Y'all don't know right from wrong. Y'all do know right from wrong, but y'all just don't care. Because y'all have been going through years and years and years, just like everybody else that has cheated and got away with it.
sounds good to me.
Serve your suspension, serve your time, and let's move on. Quit sitting up here going on these F-bomb rates. Quit going to try to go back to court, trying to sit up here and try to appeal these suspensions, trying to get off of it. You already did it once. Evidence already done stood. Evidence ain't changed. You're still trying to make this change to try to get off suspension. Serve it and let's move on. They're killing me. They're killing me with this crap. They're killing me.
Makes me think of a current situation.
I don't think I want to know.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, that would be discussed at a later time.
Oh, in that case, yes, I do want to know, but
No,
we'll
yeah, that would
discuss
be
that at a later time.
Yes.
But yeah, please, folks, let's just know the rules here. Let's just know what's right's wrong. I'm done with this. I'm done. Until they can actually grow up and learn that they know what they was doing was wrong. I ain't got nothing to say about it. I just had to rant about that. I had to vent about that. I'm done with it.
Of course.
In the meantime, jumping over. Oh, and one more thing from the NFL. A former Bills lineman got killed after being hit by a train.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, Kyle Calloway. He got killed after being hit by a train. They said he was jogging around the tracks. I think that's what it was.
Soldier.
Yeah.
But I don't see how you
could do that.
I don't know how you could not feel the vibration of the train coming towards you.
I don't know what was the deal. He probably had headphones on, some serious noise reductions. I don't know. But according to the police in Tucson, Arizona, Calloway died on Saturday after he was struck from a behind westbound train. And he had been jogging on and off the tracks.
How would they know something like that? They must
the
have seen him.
evidence. What happens is that when you're jogging, it's wet. It had just been raining, and then it was wet. You leave mud prints.
Oh, I see.
You leave mud prints, and that's where it is on the tracks. It's nothing but mud after it gets through raining, and they evidently, I think they match shoe prints to it, cleats or something. They match something to it. They match something to it, and he and his dad, I think that's what I think it's his dad, Ed Calloway, I think it is. He said that's what he did for exercise. He liked to run, and it had rained that day, of course, and the area that he ran was muddy, and he was going back and forth across the tracks to get out of the mud. But the shoe prints showed some different evidence. So yeah, of course he was running. So I think that's how they was pretty much able to identify him, because number one, you're not going to bring no ID with you when you're jogging, especially if you don't have no pockets in your
possession.
Your possession. So that was probably one way they identified him.
Yeah.
So thank God that day that it was raining, that they was able to quickly identify him.
Right.
So, yeah, he got killed. That was one of the ones. So I'm definitely beyond that. Keep them in our prayers. Keep them in our prayers, and
right, and the family.
And the family, of course, NFL family too. And Russell Wilson and Sierra, they wedlocked now. They recently just got married.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations to them. They got married at English Castle. So, yep. So hopefully that they continue to grow as married couples, and Russell Wilson bring his little young wisdom to the plate.
Of course.
So yeah, I'm proud of him for him just, focusing on his job and settling it down and having a family and stuff like that. So, congrats to him.
Absolutely.
And other than that, off the NFL now, I want to jump over to the WNBA side real quick. The LA Sparks won their 17th game, and now they're officially 17-1. They won against the Fever, 88-94. Tamika Catchings finished the game with 14 points, and Tiffany Mitchell finished with 20. And not to mention the Candace Parker, she also finished with 20, and the block that ended their little run. And that's what pretty much happened. We was talking about that before the show. Candace Parker is the reason why that little rant went into the end, because she had blocked a shot, and then they weren't able to capitalize off of that. So that's how Sparks ended up holding on for the win.
That's exactly why the name Sparks come up in their logo.
Yep. But see, give Fever some credit. They had cut that lead to 1.
That's the reason why they call the Fever. They get fire.
They get fire. They cut that lead to 1, but they could not capitalize. 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter. 20-point lead. And they're not the NBA. They're not playing a 12-minute game. They're not playing a 12-minute quarter. What are they playing? 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're up by 20
with 10 minutes left in the game.
Come on. Look. I'm sorry.
Give them some credit.
The Sparks should not be happy with that win. Even though Candace Parker saved the game, I don't think they should be satisfied with that win.
Absolutely not.
But see, I thought the Fever should have won that game anyway. They shot 54% from downtown, and Sparks shot 40%. Don't you think that should be something that the Fever should have won? You're hitting more threes than you are than the opposing team of the Sparks, and they was in the Staples Center. Ain't that something?
Yeah. They were just better off taking a high percentage 3-point shot.
Absolutely. And that's what the Fever did during their run. They were splashing threes left and right, and Tamika Catchings had a couple baskets too. They shot 85% of the foul line, which Sparks did, and 86% for the Fever. So that was pretty much an even notch there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then on the other side of this, Brittany Griner posted a double-double, and that was the first double-double that was posted by a WNBA player since 2014. She finished with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 blocks. in Mercury's 95-87 win over the Dream.
Say that again. What was the final stats for that?
I was just reading off Brittany Griner's stats.
Yeah, read it.
27 points, 10 rebounds, 10 blocks.
Oh, she has a triple double.
Yeah, so I meant to say triple double. Sorry, she had a triple double, and that was the first triple double by a WNBA player since 2014.
Do you know who that last player
double-double.
was?
Huh?
Do you know who the last player was that had a triple double WNBA?
I think it was I think a lady. What was her name? It's something Johnson. I forgot who. Tamika Johnson. She had compiled that in July 14th, 2014, but didn't say how many. What was her triple double stats? But she was the last one to do it, and that was in July 24th.
Who was it?
Tamika Johnson.
Tamika Johnson?
Yeah, Tamika Johnson. Yeah, she was the last one to do it. Diana Taurasi finished with 17, and Angel McCautry finished with 22. So, yeah, and then on the other hands of any special games tonight, there's only one game tonight, and that is the Lynx and the Sun, and they also won last night too. Minnesota did. And they also play tonight at 7. And they're playing against the Connecticut Sun. So any WBA fans, keep an eye on that game. It's only one. It's only one. Get you some popcorn, get you some beer. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Tamika Johnson. She finished, although they lost, 13 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds.
She a guard? She a guard? Wow.
To be honest, I had no clue.
That's pretty interesting.
She looked like she's built as a guard.
Probably, I would with 11 assists, yeah.
Point guard.
Point guard.
Point guard.
That sounds about right.
5'3".
5'3".
She's a point guard. There's no doubt about it.
Ready for your 60 seconds, man?
Oh, yes. I am ready for my 60 seconds.
Right. Let's go ahead and we're going to have our special 60 seconds with Mr. Darren Watts here.
I might be able to beat it this time. I think I might be able to beat it this
Let's
time.
not be a lot this time, man.
Yeah, I tried to minimize that, but, you know.
I mean, yeah, of course, if you could just divide it up or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. These are not the most glamorous ones I like to share anyway, but I'm going to share them. 2 of them I don't care about, but the other one I thought was very interesting. Hopefully I have the time to share it.
All right. Here we go.
Minute starts now.
Here we go.
July 8, 2010, LeBron James shocked the sports world by announcing via a live ESPN special the decision that he would be leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers and taking his talents to South Beach to join the Miami Heat.
Right.
This sets off firestorm of criticism and drama heading into the upcoming NBA season. Cleveland fans heavily lambasted James, and even some burned his jersey in the public display. Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert wrote an open letter to fans denouncing James' actions and claiming the Cavs would win the NBA title before James. The following day, Chris Bosh, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade signed with the Miami Heat, making it official the newest Big Three in the NBA. Then on July 12, 2006, which I thought was a very interesting stat, because we don't pay attention to this player anymore, and nobody never really gives this man credit. Brandon Warrior, the Portland Trailblazers, scored 35 points against the Phoenix Suns to set a new NBA Summer League record.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't pay him no attention. I don't know why they don't even bother to pay that man any attention. And that right there, I thought Brandon Warrior was one of the best. What was he, a small forward or a guard? I think he was a forward.
Guard.
A guard?
He was a guard. He was a shooting guard right behind... who was point guard then? I don't remember who was point guard.
I don't remember who was point guard then.
I don't remember who was point guard then. But I know...
They talking about that rant, and we was talking about that whole LeBron James when he announced that. See, that stupid stuff wasted TV time.
Yeah.
See, Durant, see how simple his was? I'll make my decision tomorrow, and when I make my decision, I'll let you know where I'm going. I'm going to go to State Warriors. That's exactly what happened. Did he need a TV time? No, he did not. Went straight to the...
Yeah.
There are a lot of common sayings. They're happy with that. A lot of fans burnt Durant jersey. A lot of people burnt LeBron James when he left.
But there are a lot of people gave an open arm back to LeBron James. They ended up winning the title.
And they ended up winning the title. For what I feel, that was a cheap move. Nothing else.
Oh, well, LeBron James always had the referees on his side. Don't
No,
matter.
of course.
So,
No doubt. No doubt.
right, if you have players or referees, he had it both ways. He had Kyrie Irving and the referees. But the last year, he didn't have Kyrie Irving. And Golden State was just shooting all over him, so they couldn't handle it.
Well, that's what happens when Dan Gilbert opened his mouth talking about, Clyde Cass was winning title before LeBron James. How smart would you when you said
knew
that?
better than that because you wasn't even a playoff team.
You wasn't even a playoff team. After he left, y'all wasn't even a playoff team.
Y'all wasn't even a playoff team. Y'all knew that then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with that. I agree with that. All right. That wraps it up. And that will wrap up another edition of Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers. With Darren, I'm Daryl. You can check us out on the social media side and listen to more of our podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at DTST2414. Like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at the Watch Brothers. Subscribe on YouTube and also subscribe to our podcast on the podcast app featuring iTunes. Of course, thank you for tuning in. Catch up with us on another episode of Double Take. The Watch Brothers are officially gone.